Good afternoon, everyone. This is Will Rogers at ET, talking to everyone at the committee about the ET mobile app. So if you have any questions about the app while we're going through this presentation, go ahead and send me a question through the app, and I will answer it as quickly as possible. Okay, so let's go forward. So first off, if you haven't done so, please go ahead and download the app. All of you should have your basic profile started. It'll be linked to your email that your registration was made with. If that is not the case, you can go ahead and download the app and then use the invitation code ETF2016, and that'll give you access to the app once you find it through the Whova app. All right, now that everybody should have had a chance to find the App Store and get it downloaded, we'll go on to the next step, which is creating your profile. So when you get to the app, you'll get to a blue page that wants you to log in. You'll click, and it'll take you to the Sign Up, Sign In page, as you see on the screen. And you can sign in with your LinkedIn or a Facebook, or preferably use your email associated with your registration. And once you do that, it'll take you to the next image you see, which is just your basic setup on your profile. Okay, now you have your basic profile set up. We'll go ahead to the setup, continue to set up. Now that you've had your profile set up, you'll have a basic one like you'll see in the center here. And in order to fill it out, you can either fill it out manually, or you can link it to your LinkedIn or another social account. For example, I use my LinkedIn here, which you can see it fills in my information that I've posted online, and it saves a lot of time, but that's just me. So I'll give you folks a minute to set up, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Got a question. We have a question. The question is, can all attendees, not just those of us on the committee, use the ETF 2016 to set up their Whova? The answer is yes. Actually, when we get the registration data through our registration system, I do a weekly upload. Through that upload, it creates a basic account, everyone's name, their company, their title, and their email. And then I send out as some of you may have received, I send out a notification email. And that also provides information about the app and also the invitation code. We'll also have the invitation code available at the conference. Okay. So now everyone's kind of had a chance to see how the setup works. We're going to go forward. So now first is the basic landing page. Now those of you that have the app set up, you probably might be familiar with this, but it's just a basic roadmap. You have the agenda and attendees list, logistics, which we have custom pages more tailored to the layout of the hotel, parking in Chicago, local events and restaurants, and other just links to other outside websites. The Activities tab just shows you what people are doing, whether they're liking sessions, checking into sessions, scanning their business cards, and just other uses of the app. Twitter allows you to view through either your Twitter page or just view the ET hashtag and see what people are saying in social media. Through photos, you can upload your own photos or see what people have uploaded related to ET. The exhibitors page, which we'll go through most of these while we're going through the seminar or this webinar, but just want to give you guys a little summary. The exhibitor page is actually a link to our A to Z site, which those of you who are exhibiting are familiar with. It gives attendees a map of the exhibit floor, and then by clicking on the exhibitor's booth, if the exhibitors create a profile, more information about their company, what fields they work in, and other information they've provided. And finally, announcements, which only staff and myself can see, but is present since we use an image from my app screen. So moving on. First, we have the agenda. Now, the agenda is broken down by day to day and hour to hour. And the cool thing about the agenda is users can create their own agenda based on going into the app, going into that item, reading about it, and saying add that or like it. And then after they've built their own agenda, they can go through each session and set a reminder. Now, fortunately for everyone in the sessions, the reminders are silent. So they are set off at custom intervals or standard intervals or 5 minutes, 20 minutes, and so on. But fortunately, no one will hear them, so you don't have a cacophony of sound every 5 minutes toward the end of a session. And here's just a more detailed breakdown of what we have for each session title. Here's an example from a Craig Warner of Kaiser Aluminum. Now, it's just, for what we did with the breakdown, we did the name of the paper title, the location, the time. Now, a new feature, which I haven't had a chance to upload images, Whova recently added a map feature into the app. So where it says Columbus KL for the room, an attendee can click on it, and it pops up a map of the hotel and says, this is where Columbus KL is. For the session overview, it's the abstract I pulled directly from our website just to give attendees a preview of the session. As for the speaker information, it links to their profile. When I made the upload, every speaker has a basic account, but as they go in and create their profiles as they register, it'll provide more detail. Now for the check-in, like, and comment features. Check-in, just say, yes, I'm attending that session. Like is saying, yes, I like the, just a basic, like a Facebook like. And then comment, which attendees can post what they think about the session or maybe possibly a question. Oh, one moment, we have a question. The question is, will we be able to forward a recording of this WebEx so others can become familiar with it before the actual ET event? We are recording this webinar for folks, and we will be releasing it so it'll provide some answers to those before the event. Good question. All right, on to announcements. Now, staff like myself will send out announcements. Those of you that have set up, we saw last week, we sent out some announcements. We'll be sending less before the show, but once we get on site, it could be an hourly event depending on if papers are dropped, moved, shifted, or, for example, the breakfast on Friday that's moved from the other side of the hotel, we'll be sending out several announcements to remind people. It's also useful just announcing if there's an emergency or any other events that are occurring. The attendee list. Now, the attendee list is just what I upload, and for some there'll be no details because it'll just be my basic profile that I created for them. But others can go in and create their profiles like all you're doing right now. And it'll just be basic information, which I can show you in the next slide, like this. Here's Nancy Melinda. And you can see it's just information she provided. There's no direct contact information. it's all just whatever you want provided. The reason her contact information is listed is because it's my contact with her since we're linked in our apps. The next one is the exhibitors. Now, an important feature for a lot of folks at ET will be the expo floor. Now, this will need web access to use, but it's direct linked to what we've been using for our exhibitors. Oh, one moment, we have a question. Let's see. The question is, when using check-in, should I be checking in when I arrive at the actual session, or it's something we should do ahead of time? It's up to you. We are currently not using it for much tracking information. I've seen a lot of people checking in. I think they're kind of checking in just to, add it to their personal agenda. But it's, at this time, not really being used. You can use it at any time. Okay, sorry about that. Back to the expo map. So it's interactive, and you can zoom in, because right now it's kind of hard to read. And you can see who's in what booth, and then by clicking on the booth, you can get a little more detail about the company as long as the exhibitor provided information. Also, by clicking the search icon here, you can also search by company name and see their booth number, and then apply it to the map or pinpoint it. It uploaded. Finally, another useful feature that you'll see on the app is the card system scanner for leads and networking collection. Now, this can be accessed on the app by going to, if you look at the very bottom of the app, hang on, I'll go back up the page real quick. Oh, it got cut off, unfortunately. If you look at the very bottom of this attendee list, you'll see events, and then to the right of it, scan card. By going to that feature, you can scan a business card of somebody you're networking with, and it will transcribe it into your contacts page within the app. And you can either do it one at a time by clicking camera, or just do if you have a whole day's worth of business cards, you can sit in your hotel room at night and just scan them all and then upload them in one fell swoop. Finally, there's the social media portion, which we've kind of discussed. First off, you can link your LinkedIn profile to build your profile, and then edit it from there. And also, others can get to your LinkedIn profile by using the provided link. Twitter, you can also upload your Twitter account or your company's Twitter account, and then post through the app, or look at the hashtag ET16 Chicago or ET16 Seminar, and see what people are talking about. Oh, we have a question. The question is, where does the business card scan reside after scanning? Can it be moved to the Whova app to something like Outlook? For the time being, the business card app resides in your personal contacts. From there, you can save to your phone address book within your cell phone. At this time, I do not know if it's possible to transfer to something like Outlook or a web mail service, but I will contact Whova today and get a final answer. Thank you for the question. Finally, this is just a basic overview of the promotion for attendees and exhibitors. We promoted in last March with the ET brochure. We'll be promoting it in the program guide. As some of you have seen, emails. We also have signs, and we will also have PowerPoints before sessions with QR codes showing folks how to download it. It'll be one QR code, but if an attendee scans it, it'll know whether it's an iPhone or an Android device and send them on the right direction. And most importantly, your folks like you will need word of mouth to get your coworkers to sign into the app. Okay, oh, we got another question because we've got to the end of the show. How do we transfer? Okay, the question is, how do you transfer contacts to the phone contacts? So what you'll do is you'll go, so when exchanging contacts, you go into the attendee list. And from the attendee list, you'll be able to say contact information. From there, if someone agrees to exchange contact information, you'll go into their profile, and it'll say, you'll go through the basic contact information. At the very bottom, it'll say, save the phone address book. And then the app will ask for access to your contacts. You'll click OK, and then it'll say saved. We got another question. Oh, we have another question. Where can we get a QR scan app? If you go into your app store, you'll be able to download a QR scanner. There are several available on either iPhone or Android, and it's pretty basic to use. Some of them, you'll have to automatically snap a photo, or it'll just automatically acknowledge with the QR code hits the scanner. Another question we received is related to fees. The question being, are there any fees related to usage or downloading materials or information from the app? There are no fees related to Whova. It is a free app for users. Are there any other questions related to the app at this time? Okay, well, if we don't have any other questions, we're going to wrap it up for the day. If this webinar will be available for download, and we'll email it out so you can distribute it to your coworkers or anyone else who has any questions about it. And as always, you can contact me. My contact information is wrogers@tso.net, and I'll be able to answer your quick questions as quickly as possible. Thank you for attending, and have a nice day.